Yo guys, it's slyroh. You already know that today I'm going to be recapping week 46 of my 2025 video game backlog journey. Link in the description if you need the full explanation to this list, the games on it, and the journey and all that sort of stuff. We are getting closer and closer to the end of the year, so it's just another week of recapping what I played and what I plan on doing next. So as always, I'm going to format this video. I will do an overview as to what happened in the prior week. Then I will dive a little bit deeper into each of the games that I played throughout the week, and then I will preview the week ahead. This shouldn't be that long of a video. I am going to be doing a lot of talking about the same, but we do have some really, really exciting news and things moving forward. So, where we left off, I was playing Fable 2, and I said that I would hopefully finish Fable 2 by the end of the week, and I did. Boom. I was also playing Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valencia, and I said that I thought that I'd be pretty close to finishing that, and I did. So that is two big games being taken off the list. That's 47 hours plus 24. That's like I just cleared out, what's that, 71 hours? I have a separate spreadsheet to make sure that this math is right. It's like 560 something, 561. If that's not right, I will change it to the proper number after the recording. But it's in the 500s, which is exciting. And I finished two games. I also brought up the possibilities of starting up some new games. The only ones that I did start so far is Life is Strange 2. I finally started playing that. I've been talking about playing that since, I don't know, June, maybe? Even May? I don't know. It's been a long time coming, but I'm finally starting to play Life is Strange 2, so I do have a new game to talk about today. In terms of hours added, I didn't actually update any of the hours played over here. I'm considering, I think I might save it till next week. I was contemplating highlighting Hades 2 this week because I have put a little bit more time into it. I didn't really put that much more time into Drop Duchy or Ball Pit or Ghost of Yotei. I did a couple of recording sessions for Date Everything and the 100 Line Last Defense Academy. And so because I did sometimes on recording and I didn't really play that much over the past like 4 days, this week was kind of a tale of like the first 3 days, like over the weekend. I really played a lot of games, and then once it hit like Tuesday, like I just haven't really been playing that much. And that's just because, life stuff, getting back to work, doing all that sort of stuff. So no like big things, but motivation wise, I mean, things are looking good right now. So that is where we stand right now. Where the only games from my backlog I'm actually playing is Life is Strange 2, but I will talk about in the preview because there are a couple that I am literally about to start, and I almost did if I just would have had the time. And everything over here I'm going to keep the same. Drop Duchy and Ball Pit are both on the edge of kind of falling off because I just feel like I've played enough of them to get my full opinion. And as we're getting to the end of the year, I want to put more hours into things like Ghost of Yotei, the 100 Line Last Defense Academy, and things like that, just so I have a more well-rounded opinion as we get to the end of the year and I start doing lists on like my favorite games of the year and whatnot. Also on top of this, I am doing some other recording. I'm recording footage to try and get my yearly list out for the past 2 years. I've done ranking every level for Spyro levels, and I'm trying to get the third game done by the end of the year, but we'll see how that works. So I'm balancing a lot of stuff right now, but it is what it is. I've already accepted that this whole list isn't getting done, but I do think that I can make a little bit more progress in it, so that is exciting. So yeah, I'm only going to talk about the backlog games. I'm not going to highlight a new game this week. I will do that next week because I also don't have a ton of time to record today. That's mostly a personal choice. I just have other things that I would prefer doing today. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this out of the way, and then do other things in my life. But I'm still enjoying the journey process as a whole. But let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and jump onto the next part of the video, and I'm just going to highlight the 3 games from the backlog, and I'm going to dive a little bit deeper. So I'm going to start with Fable 2. Fable 2 was interesting in the sense that I feel like the end of the game actually just kind of approached rather quickly. I was like running out of healing items, and I was like, oh, the next time I get to a town, I need to like get some more healing items, or the next time I get a break, like let me go get some. But that break never came. I just kind of, there was like one more battle that I didn't have a chance to get like stockpile and healing stuff, and then there was like the ending, which was cool. So I really just focused on main quests. I didn't do a lot of side quests unless it was required to get like renown up to continue the main quest. So there are some things that I left on the table to be done. But overall, Fable 2, I think I've kind of said most of my thoughts on it already, where it is good, it is fun. Fable 2 specifically doesn't really have any of the frustrating lows that I had with the first Fable game. There aren't as many highlights, but there wasn't really any time during Fable 2 where I wasn't having a fun time, outside of one time where the game crashed on me during the Crucible run. It's like 8 rounds of combat, and literally on the 8th round, as the like last enemy's like health bar was at like 10%, the game like crashed. I had to do all of them again. That's not really the game's fault, so I don't hold it against it. But outside of that, I didn't really have any times where I was just really having a rough time. I will say I didn't really try, but I was in a town, and this like shopkeeper that I must have interacted with had like enough friendliness towards me that like he agreed to marry me when I asked him. So I did end up marrying in this game. Moved him into my starting home because I never bought a new house. I don't think he liked that very much. And then, I mean, spoiler alerts for like the story and like the end of the game. But I ended up marrying somebody just to have him killed off. The main bad guy like killed my dog and my husband. And I'm like, what the heck? Why'd you do that? But it's okay. I think I chose the ending where they get to be brought back to life because I'm just that amazing. And yeah, so that was fun. So yeah, it's a fun game. It's solid. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some research on Fable 3 to see if I really want to put myself through another Fable game. Because like they're good, but they're not like great. And that's just kind of where I stand. But yeah, the end of the game actually just kind of it was pretty quick. To like once I really sat down and put some effort into doing it, it didn't really take long at all to do that. So that was pretty nice. And yeah, but that is a completed game. I beat the final main mission. I got an ending, and I count that as good enough for me. So I feel satisfied with that, and so now we can move on to the other game that I completed over the past week, and that is Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valencia. And this game it's fantastic. I love Fire Emblem a lot, and when I was playing Fire Emblem Fates, I was starting to think that maybe Fire Emblem just wasn't for me. Maybe I just hit, I was gonna say like I just like struck lightning with like Fire Emblem Three Houses, but like I really do like a lot of other Fire Emblem games. But the ones that I chose to play this year have really been harder on me. But Shadows of Valencia, outside of like one specific battle at the start of Act 4 and maybe a couple others here and there, it really wasn't that hard, and I really did like the systems. I got used to a lot of like I guess I would call it jank, but not really. But there's things that are specific to this game where like it doesn't show you exactly how much damage you're going to do. It shows you your attack and the opponent's defense, and you can like do the math yourself. So there was things like that like I got used to. Things like when casters like cast a spell, they do damage to themselves as well. The weapon arts or skills or whatever they're called, those were cool, and I kind of like figured out how those work. I don't really think I optimized my gameplay that well, but I would actually, this is a game that I could see myself playing again in the future, just to see like if I could, now that I understand the game systems better, if I could optimize like the early game units better to like, snowball them into like powerhouses. And I think that could be something. I think I also missed a couple of characters somehow. Maybe I didn't explore as much early in the game, like talking around like all the villages and stuff like that. So that's something that I would want to do. But I think the number here was like 47 hours, and I think I pretty much hit that on the head. It was about somewhere between 45 to 48 hours was my final playtime. So that was kind of refreshing to see like, oh, I can put that much time into a game and it still be exciting. So yeah, I really like Fire Emblem Echoes. Having the turn wheel where I could like turn back to previous turns did help alleviate some frustration that I might have had. And yeah, just sort of understanding the game and most of its mechanics by the end helped, and it was just a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I really like Fire Emblem. Eventually I'd like to play every single Fire Emblem game. I think I must be over halfway through at this point, through that journey. So that's exciting. And yeah, so not all Fire Emblem experiences were bad this year. There was actually some light in there as well. So that is really all I have to say about that. Only positive things to say. And now I can move on to the last game that I'm going to talk about today. And the first time I get to talk about it is Life is Strange 2. So, as a quick refresher, Life is Strange was a game that I played earlier in the year, and it was one of my favorite experiences. I still plan on ranking games from this backlog at the end of the year, so I don't actually have it placed as far as like where it would end up, but I'm assuming it's gonna end up pretty high, because it's a game that I really, really enjoyed. I got emotionally invested in, and it always was a game series that I like. I don't know. It appealed to me. That's the word I was looking for. It appealed to me, and so that's why Life is Strange 2 is on the backlog, just like every other Life is Strange game that I did put on the list. So this one, I know that it's Life is Strange 2 is not a direct sequel. Like none of the events of the first game seem to affect what happens in Life is Strange 2, as far as I can tell. You follow Sean and his little brother Daniel. I'm still in chapter 1. It's another game that's sort of separated by chapters. I think there's 5 chapters. So I'm still in chapter 1, still early on, but I've got the setup to the story, so I guess spoilers for like the setup to the story. But so far, it's like a narrative game, and you play as Daniel, and I gotta say, sorry, you don't play as Daniel, you play as Sean. Daniel is the little brother, and I keep getting that messed up. You play as Sean, who, I'm gonna be honest, so far sucks. I really don't like Sean. I can start to see a couple of redeeming qualities start to peek through, but Sean is sort of introduced with like this friend that cares a lot for him, talking about this girl that he's gonna see, that he's like, maybe has a crush on or whatever. His dad, who's like corny but clearly like loves him a lot, like gives him money even like to go to a party, because he's like I chose to be like truthful with the dad, to be like, oh, I'm gonna use this money for like drugs or like weed and alcohol or whatever. And he's like, all right, he was like, I'm glad that you were like truthful with me, and like lets you do, like a really cool dad. There's no mother in the picture for some reason. I'm assuming could have been death, could have been just left, I'm not entirely sure. And then just a little brother that looks up to him, adores him, and he's kind of just mean to everybody for like no reason. The best friend character, Lila, he was pretty nice to her, but like every other character that Sean interacts with, he's just like mean to, and he's just like angry at like everything. Like I don't really know why, but he's not really rootable, and that's the main thing that I don't like as much so far. But like I said, it's coming around. There's an incident of sorts, where Daniel, the little brother, goes over to the neighbor, and the neighbor's already was like built up as like, oh, this is not somebody you want to mess with. It's like a Halloween thing. Little brother got some like fake blood or whatever on the neighbor. Neighbor freaked out. Sean and the neighbor get in like a fight or whatever, and then the dad comes out. Things start escalating, and some sort of powers happened. I don't entirely know. I think cops showed up first and like shot. So like the dad's like dead. Shot the dad. The neighborhood like kid or whatever, I think like died. Like there was just a bunch of crazy stuff that happened, and then I think like as a reactive, it seemed like Daniel like released some sort of energy that just like did something crazy, like wrecked half the like house, blew all the police cars away. I don't really know what's going on there. So then Sean and Daniel are just sort of like on the run to just like not deal with any of those consequences as to like whatever happened. I don't know if they think they're gonna get in trouble. I don't know what they think is gonna happen. They might be in trouble. I don't know. But that's sort of the setup where like, and you can see the gameplay is from where I recorded. That is my most recent play session at the time of this recording, is just sort of running away with Daniel, and Daniel doesn't really remember what happened, so Sean is kind of like protecting him from that for some reason. I'm sure that's not going to end well. But yeah, they're just kind of hiding in the woods, and I'm not really sure what the plan is moving forward. I don't really know where the story is fully going to go. I am more intrigued as Sean is starting to be slightly nicer to Daniel. There's like some really wholesome like bonding moments like in the woods and camping and stuff that they have. That's it's cute, it's nice to see. But like I'm hoping to get more of that, because all the other characters not named Sean have been pretty good, and I'm assuming there's gonna have to be more characters introduced into the story anyway, because right now it's just the two main brothers, and they're just kind of in the woods right now. So I don't really know what's going to happen. But that's all I have so far. So far, I'm hesitant. I don't know if I'm going to like it as much as the first game. Probably not. And I'm just interested to see like where the story goes and what, like, how it turns into an interesting story. Because right now the setup is just kind of two brothers on the run. Now what? So like, yeah, I'm interested to see what they have to do. Life is Strange 2 is, you know, it should be a pretty easy game to progress through, so I don't need to worry about that. And yeah, so I don't know. I have mixed thoughts at the start, and I will expand more of my thoughts as I play more of the game in the coming weeks. So that is where I'm going to leave that off right now. And then I will quickly preview the week ahead. We're going to move on to the final section of the video. So yeah, I'm going to preview the week ahead, and that is mostly just about the other games that I am going to start, which are going to echo what I said last week, because I think I actually have some of them installed ready to go. I just didn't start because I just didn't have the time to set aside to start playing them. But Ori and the Will of the Wisps is absolutely the next Xbox game that I'm going to play. So that is definitely on my list. I think it's going to be up there as a game that I really love. I really like the first Ori and the Blind Forest, so that is up there. And then Jak 3 is a game that I've had my attention on. So those two are for sure. I'm going to start them like as soon as I get the chance to. I don't know how much more time I'm going to put into the new games over here. Those are the two I can guarantee, and then past that, I don't really know. If I need something else to play at the PC that isn't Life is Strange 2, Inscription has kind of caught my eyes, like maybe I'll play that. But I'm not going to promise anything beyond Ori and the Will of the Wisps and Jak 3. Those are sort of the two that I'm eyeing right now, and then beyond that, we'll see. If something else tickles my fancy, then I'll do that as well, but that is sort of where I'm at right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Feel free to leave any comments, questions, concerns, thoughts on any of the games that I talked about or, you know, will start playing soon. Yeah, let me know if you like any of those games, any new games that you've been playing or that are coming out by the end of the year. You know, we're getting to the end of the year, so let me know some of your like favorite games, maybe favorite underrated games, maybe your favorite of the new games that I've played. Like, you know, I don't know, you know, just whatever you want. The floor is all yours. But I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, and I will see you all next week for week 47. Wow, 46 weeks I've been doing this. That's crazy. But yeah, I will see you all around next week. So till then, peace out.